Okay, so yesterday we have seen the gradient of scalar field V. So now today we will see the divergence of a vector, that is del dot A. If I operate the del operator on vector A, that we will call it as divergence of vector. Okay. So now we have already seen, so if I have a surface like this, okay, so now if the vector is flowing like this, okay, now if I have the small incremental surface ds, okay, so now we have defined already, so the flux, so what is flux? The net outward flow of this vector A, okay, from this surface, what is the net outward flow of this vector? So if I take the integral of that vector over an incremental surface, so that we will call it as what is the flux. Okay. So now if I want to define a divergence of a vector A, okay, so say for example, if I have the coordinate system like this, okay, so now if I have some point P, let us say some point P is there. Now if I want to tell what is the divergence of vector A at this point P, okay, so it may be anywhere in the given coordinate system, okay, so the divergence of vector A at given point P is the how much outward flow of this flux or vector A, okay, so how much outward flow of this vector A. So if I consider, so as I said, so the surface, if I take this just sheet, it is a open surface, right? So now if I take the closed surface, okay, if I take like this, it is a closed surface, so this will become an open volume because it is a closed one, so the closed surface will become open volume. So similarly, as we have discussed already, if I take the open line, it will become, that is closed line, it will become open surface. Now if I take the closed surface, it will become open volume. Okay. So now we can define what is divergence of vector A is the divergence of vector A at a given point P. So is the outward flux per unit volume, because so if I take the closed surface, it will become open volume. Okay. So that we can define it as the divergence of vector A at a given point P is the outward flux per unit volume. So as the volume shrinks about P, even it can go in the positive direction, so that we will define this one as positive divergence. So once the vectors which is flowing out of the source point, so if I take this point as a source point, if the flow of vector A, so that is outward flow, so if it is outward flow from point P, we will call it as positive divergence. If the point P, so if the vector coming near to the source, so then we can call it as this as negative divergence. Okay. So this is positive divergence and this is negative divergence, and if the vector, there is no change in the vector on this point P, okay, if there is no change in the vector direction, so about point P, then we can call it as zero divergence or no divergence. Okay, is it understood now? This is positive divergence, this is negative divergence, and this is zero divergence. So now we can define actually the divergence of vector A is the at point P, the divergence of A at point P, the given point P is the outward flux per unit volume. Okay, because that surface, whatever we outward flow of this vector A, so if I take the closed surface, it will become volume. So per unit volume we can able to define. So this we can define it as limit, so del V tends to 0, so integral, that is closed integral, because we are taking the closed surface. Okay, closed surface of A dot ds divided by del V. Okay, so this is what the divergence of vector A, and this is positive divergence and this is negative divergence and this is there is no divergence. Okay, so it can be simply, we can in daily life you can take the example, if I take the bulb, okay, so that bulb if you put it in a room, so it will give the light intensity over complete room, okay, it is giving the intensity in the all direction. So that is an example for positive divergence, okay. Similarly, if the light coming towards the bulb, then we can assume that as a negative divergence, okay. So these are the examples for positive divergence and negative divergence, okay. So at source, that whatever the source point, if we consider this source point in any coordinate system, and we can calculate what is the divergence of vector A, and also we can move on to what is a divergence theorem also, how we can able to define the divergence theorem and how we can prove that, okay. So now if I take a point P here, okay, in the Cartesian coordinate system, and even you can define one volume, okay. So if I define the volume like this, so now point P is within this volume, okay. Let us say this is P which is there within this volume, okay, and there is the variation in the x direction which we can call it as dx, and variation in the z direction, so that we'll call it as dz, and variation in the y direction, that we'll call it as dy, okay. So now you can see this volume contains many surfaces like front surface, okay, this is a front surface, and similarly that opposite to that back surface, and this is a right surface, this is a left surface, and top surface, bottom surface, like that, okay. So now if I evaluate the vector A on this all the surfaces, then it will give the total divergence of vector A at point P, okay. So now that point P, I can define it as x naught comma y naught comma z naught, let us say. So if I define the point P as x naught comma y naught comma z naught, okay. So now if somewhere if I take point A, that is the vector A, in some other point in the volume, so now we have to evaluate that what is the divergence of that A at this point P. So that we need to get from the Taylor series expansion. So if we evaluate all these surfaces, okay, then combine it, so all these surfaces, then we will get the total, so the divergence of that vector A, okay. So now we will define that the A dot ds, that closed surface integral. So now how many surfaces are there, which we have 6 surfaces, that is equal to, so the integral of front side surface, okay, plus back side, okay, plus the integral of right side, okay, plus integral of left side, okay, plus integral of top and bottom. So all these things if I evaluate A dot ds, then we will get the total the divergence of this vector, okay. So now we will use the Taylor series expansion to find out this one. So now is it understood? Any doubt in this? Okay. So now, so if I take in Cartesian coordinate system which we have defined, okay. So now if I define the Ax component, okay, so and Ay component and Az component. So now by using 3D Taylor series expansion of the vector Ax about the point P, so which we can define it as, so Ax of x comma y comma z, okay, some point x comma y comma z. So now if we evaluate this Ax at that point P, which we can define it as Ax of x naught comma y naught comma z naught, okay. So plus, so now if I take that x point which is at a distance of, so say for example this front surface if I take, okay, so this front surface from this point P there is a distance of, say for example, so if I project here, if this is at a distance of x naught, say for example, that is this point if I define it as x and whatever the point A, so in the x coordinate if I have the value x and the point P is at x naught. Now what is the difference between point A and point P in the x direction? It is the difference of x and x naught. Okay, so that we can write. So in the x direction, so we have x minus x naught. Okay, so into del Ax by del x at point P. Okay, so at point P, the x component of vector A, we can define it as x minus x naught del Ax by del x. Okay, similarly, so at point Y, so we can define it as, so y minus y naught into del Ay by del y. Okay, so that we can define it as at point P. So with respect to y, we can define it as y minus y naught del Ay by del y at point P, plus similarly in z direction. Okay, so del Az by del z point P. Okay, and also we have some higher order terms because we are expanding using Taylor's series. So which contains these fundamental terms plus higher order terms. Okay, so now this is the vector A if it is defined at point xyz, and we have the point P at xy, x naught, y naught, z naught. Now if I define the vector A, so in that point P, so we have this one using Taylor series expansion method. Now similarly, if I take the front side, so if you assume this front surface, so now if we evaluate this A dot ds for the front surface, okay, so now the point x is at a distance of x, that the distance between this and this is x naught, right? Is it not? So and the point P is at exactly at the center if you assume. Okay, so I'll just write down that once more, that box to understand. Okay, so now if the point P is there here, so now exactly if I take at the center, okay, if this point P is at exactly at the center, say for example, so now if this is dx, okay, now for the front surface, so if I take the front surface, so this point P, how much distance it is there? It is dx by 2, right? Is it not? So the point P, so if I take the point x here in the front surface, the point x if I take, so now this point P is at, so you can define point x, which is the distance x naught plus dx by 2. Okay, the point P which is at x naught plus the distance is dx by 2. Okay, so this point P, if I come in the direction of front like this, okay, it will be having a distance of x naught plus dx by 2. Now similarly if I go back, so what will happen? This is a front surface. Okay, so similarly if I go for back surface, it is x naught minus dx by 2. So that is if you go for the back surface. So here this surface. Okay, so now if I take the front side, if I evaluate what is A dot ds for front side, okay, so now the ds, whatever we have, the ds surface for the x direction, so in the ax direction. So what is the ds for ax direction? Hello, can anybody tell what is the ds for ax direction, the surface area? What is the variation in ax?
Front plus back.
So what if I take the unit vector in the x direction, what are the other variations? It is the dz and dy, right? What is the surface variation? You can see here. So if I take the unit vector direction ax direction, so this is the ax direction. So what is the variation? It is dy and dz, right? So we can write it as dy and dz. Okay, now if I substitute this one in the above equation, okay, so in this whatever we have defined using Taylor series equation, if I define that using the Taylor series equation, we have the ds, the surface area, which is dy into dz. Okay, so now with, so in the x direction, so for the front side we have defined that ax. Okay, so what is ax? Ax of x naught comma y naught comma z naught, so that we have defined here, plus, okay, so then, so this one will be having, so now if I add this one, so if I just add both front and back surface, for the first time we will just write front surface. So what is a front surface? X naught, x equal to x naught plus dx by 2. Okay, so now what is meant by x minus x naught? What is x minus x naught? It is just dx by 2, right? Is it not? Is it understood or not? Hello, just I am taking x minus x naught from this, that is, so in order to substitute for this x minus x naught, I am taking from this expression, so x naught, if I take this side, x minus x naught, I can define it as dx by 2. Okay, so this dx by 2 into del ax by del x at point P. Okay, so now the other y terms, it is not there because we have already taken the surface area. Okay, so we are not particularly taken for the y component. So now we will take for y component in other surfaces, so where in the y direction it is there. So now in the unit vector ax direction, this is the component. Okay, so now similarly for back side, so back side a dot ds, what will happen? So it is nothing but, so minus dy dz, because we are moving in the opposite to the vector direction, so it is minus dy dz. Okay, so this into ax of x naught comma y naught comma z naught. Okay, this minus dx by 2 into del ax by del x. Okay, this is for back side surface because we are moving in the negative direction. Now if I add both front side and back side, okay, so what you will get? So integral of a dot ds for front plus integral of, so a dot ds for back. So what you will get? So just if you add this one, so this dy dz into this term minus dy dz in this term, this will get cancelled because this is plus and this is minus. Okay, so now this minus and minus, it will become plus, so you will get, so dx dy dz, because if you add these two, dx by 2 plus dx by 2, it will become dx, and along with this dy and dz are there. So along with this, so we have del ax divided by del x at point P. So now this is the a dot ds, that is the surface integral of front and back surface. So now is it understood? Hello? Any doubt in this? So you have to tell me clearly what is the thing. If you are not understanding, tell me in which point you are not understanding. Okay, so now this is for front and back surface. Now similarly for the other surfaces we can write it down. Okay, so now if I take this left and right surface, so this is right surface and this is left surface. So now in which unit vector direction it is there? It is there in the unit vector direction ay. Okay, so now here plus higher order terms are there, just write it down, higher order terms. Okay, now similarly if I write for right and left surface, okay, similarly if I write, okay, right and left surface. Okay, so now if in this unit direction, what are the variations? So it is x and z direction, is it not? Is it clear? So x and y direction, that is z direction, so in the unit vector ay direction. So now similarly, so we can write for left and right, so this can be, again it will give dx by dx, dy and dz del Ay by del y at point P plus higher order terms. Okay, so in the similar fashion we have to write for y direction the Ax term. Again, if I add both right and left, you will get the this thing. And similarly for the top and bottom. Okay, so if I write for top and bottom, so the A dot ds for top surface plus A dot ds for bottom surface. So now what we will get? So for the top and bottom surface, this is the actual AZ direction. The variations are x and y. Okay, so if I do that one, again you will get dx, dy, dz. So in this direction what will happen? dz by 2 plus dz by 2 it will add. Similarly here dx by 2, dx by 2 whichever it is added. In the z direction it will add dz by 2 plus dz by 2, so it will become dz. So into del az by del z at point P plus higher order terms. Okay, so now if I add all these things, so then you will get the total A dot ds, that is total surface integral. So if I completely take all these surfaces, it will become a closed volume. Okay, so now for the closed volume, so that is del V. So what is the difference in the x and y and z direction? So we can define it as volume as dx, dy and dz, right? So now if I add all these surface integral, okay, so to get the closed integral of A dot ds, okay, so if I take closed integral of A dot ds, so this will be, so the combination of all those things. Okay, so that is dx, dy, dz, that is common to all. So you can observe here, so dx, dy, dz is common to all. Okay, so now if I take common to all, so the remaining terms are dax by dx, okay, plus day by dy plus daz by del z. This is at point P plus higher order terms. Okay, so now as I said, the divergence of that vector A is the outward flow of flux when the volume shrinks about P. So whatever the volume it is, if it is, so if this volume, if it is shrinking about P, okay, so all this surface integral, so that will give the total negative divergence. If it is going outside, it is give the positive divergence. So now if I consider that as a volume, so and if I apply the limit, okay, so the limit del V tends to 0 to this surface integral, that is A dot ds. Okay, so this will already define, this is called divergence. Okay, divergence of V. So now if I apply that one, so we know del V. Okay, so we know del A dot ds. So A dot ds is complete this thing. Okay, dx, dy, dz into del ax by del x plus del ay plus del y plus del az by del z at point P plus higher order terms. So this whole divided by that del V. What is del V? So which is nothing but dx, dy, dz. Okay, so now as the volume tends to 0, so these higher order terms which are very less values, so these are vanishes. Okay, so as del V tends to 0, so these terms, that is higher order terms, vanishes. Okay, so now this dx, dy, dz will get cancel each other. So now we can write del dot A, which we can define it as limit del V tends to 0 closed surface integral of A dot ds over a volume, which is nothing but, so del by del x of Ax plus del by del y of Ay plus del by del z of Az. So this is what the divergence of A. So is it understood? Any doubt in this? Hello, how we get this expression? So if we want to find out the divergence of vector A or vector B, whatever it is giving, so we have to use this equation to find out the divergence of vector A. And you can note one more point here. So this del operator is also in the unit vector direction, and Ax is also in the which is containing unit vector direction. So multiplication of this will give the scalar quantity. Okay, it will give the scalar quantity. The resultant will be the scalar quantity. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? Hello, any doubt? Anybody? Hello, Manu, S, Maulya. Is it understood or not?
Understood, sir.
Okay. So now if I define the del dot A in other coordinate system, so that equations I will write directly. That derivation you have to convert that Cartesian into cylindrical components, which we have converted, that is cos phi sin phi 0 minus sin phi cos phi 0 0 0 1. So that you have to apply here in place of that Cartesian, then we can get the cylindrical. So that derivation, so it is not there. So you just remember the equation in the del dot A in cylindrical and spherical coordinate system. That is del dot A in cylindrical coordinate system, we can define it as 1 by rho into del by del rho of rho into A rho, okay, plus 1 by rho into del A phi by del phi plus del Az by del z. So this is in cylindrical, the divergence of A. Okay, this is in cylindrical coordinate system. And similarly in spherical coordinate system, so we can define it as 1 by r square del by del r of, so r square ar plus 1 by r sin theta into, so del by del theta of a theta sin theta, okay, plus 1 over r sin theta into del a phi by del phi. So this is in spherical coordinate system. Okay, so these are the two equations you have to remember. So this is for the Cartesian coordinate system, and this is cylindrical, and this is for spherical. Okay, so now some of the properties of the divergence of a vector field, it is there. So now what are all the properties we will going to see. Okay, so now what are the properties of this divergence of a vector field? So as I said, it will produce a scalar field. So when I operate a divergence on a vector, it produces scalar quantity or scalar field. Okay, so next one, so if I operate on two vectors, that is del dot of A plus B, so what will happen? So it will operate on a individually on this vector, that is del dot A plus del dot B. Okay, and also if I have the scalar as well as vector, okay, both combined, so then we have V into del A plus A into del B. So this is the some of the properties of this divergence of a vector field. Okay, so now what is meant by divergence theorem? So that we will see. So by definition, so if I want to define what is divergence of vector, that is divergence theorem. Okay, so divergence theorem. So we can define the divergence theorem in the equation form as the closed integral of the closed surface integral of A dot ds, which is equal to the volume integral of del dot A. Okay. So this is what in equation form the divergence theorem says that. So what actually it states means the total outward flux of vector A. Okay. So the total outward flux. So we have already defined A dot ds, which is the total outward flux. Okay. So the total outward flux of vector A through a closed surface. So you can see here we have considered it as a closed surface. So now as I said, the closed surface will lead to a open volume. It is similar like a volume. Okay. So the total outward flux of vector A through a closed surface, okay, through a closed surface S. So if I consider surface, closed surface as S, okay, is same as the volume integral of divergence of A. So it is same as the volume integral of divergence of A. So this is the divergence theorem, and whatever we have written in equation form, that we have explained in the statement form. That's it. Okay. So now if I, in order to prove this one, if I take the closed surface which is acts like an open volume, it is volume V, or we can write it as closed surface S. Closed surface S. Okay. So now if I define the closed integral of A dot ds, okay. Now if I define this complete closed surface as small surfaces like this, okay, some small surfaces, if I consider, okay, some k surfaces, if I have some small k surfaces, now this closed integral, which is the summation of all these small surfaces, okay, summation of all these small closed surfaces, okay, the closed, that is the surface integral of all these small surfaces, which will become a total closed surface. Okay. So now this can be also equated to, so the volume K. So if I take this one as complete volume, and if I have the whatever the surface which we have defined, some small surfaces, so that will a closed surface, and if I define that closed surface as, so some small surfaces as Sk, which is also equal to the summation of K, so which is closed integral of A dot ds over small surfaces Sk, and it will be defined over the volume Vk. So if I consider that one with the small volumes also, if I define here within this open closed volume, so this we can define it as, so like this. Okay, this is a small volumes which we can define over here. So now we can see here, so if I take the outward flow of flux from the small surface like this, so this is inward to the next surface, is it not? So if I take the outward flow of flux from one surface, it will be inward flow of flux to the other surface. So if I take this is positive divergence for one cell, that will become negative divergence for other cell. So now if I evaluate for over all the closed surface, all this will interior will get cancelled, and it will give only from edge to edge. So that addition of edge to edge, that will give the complete closed surface integral. Okay. So that will become, so the open volume, and that volume tends to 0. So now if this volume, if I take the limit that volume tends to 0, so then we can write, so this A dot ds, which is equal to, so as I said, this small surfaces which we can add together, so we will get the closed surface integral A dot ds. Okay. So this will give the closed surface integral A dot ds, which will be equal to the volume, the divergence of volume integral over the volume dv. So if I take for this one limit del v tends to 0, okay, so then this will become the volume integral. Okay, so this is what we call it as the divergence theorem. Okay, so instead of the advantage of theorem here it is, instead of evaluating all the surfaces in the surface integral, just evaluate the divergence of vector A over the complete volume, that is closed volume. That is what. So this will be easy to evaluate instead of this one. So that is what this theorem says. So instead of evaluating the surface, closed surface for all the surface, say for example in this itself we have one closed surface like this, okay, and there is a top surface and there is a bottom surface. Instead of evaluating top surface, the surface integral of top surface, surface integral of bottom surface and the curved surface, okay. So instead of evaluating all these surfaces, just integrate the divergence of A over a volume, so then you will get the same answer as this surface integral. So that is what the divergence theorem says. So is it clear? Any doubt? Hello? Hello, is it understood or any doubt in any point? Sunil, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uday Shankar?
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. Vedika? Yashwant? Okay, so this is about the divergence theorem. Understood? Fardeen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Subramanya?
Yes, sir. So, but I have one doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
When we go with convergence, or when we're talking with divergence of a point in a positive direction, we always say that it's going away from a particular point of reference. So, according to that point of reference P, we're calculating the divergence of a value, right?
Yes, yes.
How will this exactly act when we have equal? I mean, in the sense like we had the third one, right? I mean, zero divergence.
Zero divergence, yeah. Here.
What exactly happens? So even in zero divergence, we have something coming into, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of negative divergence, right?
Yeah, yeah. So in the zero divergence, what will happen? Even the point P it is there. Okay. So there is no that point source. It is not acting like a source. So it is something else. It won't diverge the vector field which is coming towards it. Okay. So there is no means if I have a source, okay, if I apply a vector to that point source, okay, it won't allow the vector field to diverge that point source.
Yes, sir.
So that is what zero divergence. So if that point source or whatever source in real time if you take, if it is not allowing the vector which is flowing towards it, so it will not allow the vector to diverge in the other direction, that will call it as zero divergence. That's it.
So got it.
Okay, so now we will calculate the divergence of some particular vectors. Okay. So now take this one. So determine the problem. This is the problem. So I will just check. Okay, this is a problem, that is determine the divergence of these vector fields. Determine the divergence of vector fields or following vector fields. Okay, so the first one, the vector which is given P x square yz in ax direction plus xz in az direction. This is the point, that is vector p, and vector q, which is given by rho sin phi in arrow direction, okay, plus rho square z in a phi
Sir,
direction.
can you read out the first problem?
What?
Can you read out that A part P is equal to?
The p na, what you are asking?
Sir, can you read out that P is equal to x square yz plus?
P is equal to x square yz in ax direction. Okay, so x square yz ax plus xz into az cap. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. So now for q vector, it is rho sin phi into arrow cap plus rho square z in a phi cap plus z cos phi in az cap. Okay. So this is the second problem, and third one, which we have some t vector, which is equal to 1 over r square cos theta in ar direction, that is 1 over r square cos theta into ar cap plus r sin theta cos phi into a theta direction plus cos theta in a phi direction. Okay. So now this is the t vector. So now we need to evaluate all these things. So now coming to the first one, okay, we need to evaluate divergence of the vector p. Okay. So now if I do that one, so what is the equation? Del by del x of p, okay, px also you can write, plus del by del y of py plus del by del z of pz. Okay. So now if you do that one, what is the px component? You can see here. So what is the px component? That is x square yz, that is in the x direction, that is ax direction, that is a px component. Okay, now if you differentiate del by del x of x square yz, okay, plus y component is, what is the y component? That py component, there is no ay unit vector, right? It is a 0. And similarly del by del z component of the pz component, which is xz. So now if you differentiate with respect to x, this one, so what you will get? You will get 2xyz plus, so this one is 0, plus with respect to z you will get x as constant and z is 1. Okay, so this will be equal to 2xyz plus x. So this is the answer. Is it understood? So now find out what is del dot q. Now del dot q is 1 by rho of del by del rho of rho into a rho, okay, or since this is q vector, we will write it as q rho, plus 1 by rho of del by del phi of q pi, okay, plus del by del z of qz. Okay. So now what is the given vector q? You can see here q, which is rho sin pi in the arrow direction, rho square z in a phi direction, and z cos phi in az direction. So now we can write 1 over rho into del by del rho of rho into, what is the arrow component? It is rho sin phi, okay, plus 1 by rho into del by del phi of q pi component. What is the phi component? It is rho square z, okay, plus del by del z of z component, that is So you can see here, so Az component is z cos phi. Okay, so now we can evaluate the value. So we will get it as, so 1 by rho into del by del rho of rho square sin phi. Okay, plus, so now we can write again once again, so del by del phi of rho square z plus del by del z of z cos phi. Okay, so now you differentiate 1 by rho into, so what is the differentiation of rho square with respect to rho? It is 2 rho sin phi. Okay, plus 1 by rho into, with respect to phi, what is this? It will become 0, is it not? Because there is no phi involved here, into 0, plus, so z component, so cos phi is constant, so del by del z of z, which is equal to 1. Okay, so now if you put inside this one by rho, you will get rho get cancelled, so you will get 2 cos phi plus, sorry, 2 sin phi plus cos phi. So this is the del dot q. Got it? All of you got it, this answer? Hello, Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Got it, this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now similarly find out the next one, the del dot t. You can tell me the answer, del dot t. So just I'll give the equation for spherical coordinates, that is 1 by r square into del by del r of r square tr, okay, plus 1 over r sin theta into del by del theta of t theta into sin theta, okay, plus 1 by r sin theta into del by del phi of t phi. Now substitute the r component, theta component and phi component, then you can get the answer. So you can tell me what is del dot t. What is the answer? Yeah, hello? What is the answer?
Cos theta cos phi.
Yeah, 2 cos theta cos phi. This is the answer. Okay? Now similarly, so you can calculate, you can do the problem. So this is an exercise problem, so you can try to do it, and I will give you the answer for this. So first one, so calculate the divergence of the following vector fields and evaluate at specified points. So this is a problem, that is calculate the divergence of following fields and evaluate at specified points. Okay, so now the first one is a vector A, which is equal to yz into ax direction plus 4xy in ay direction plus y into az direction. So this we have to evaluate at point 1 comma minus 2 comma 3. Okay, so now for answer for this, just you can evaluate and you can check it. So this will give the del dot a, which is equal to 4x, and the value, so and the value at 1 comma minus 2 comma 3, which is equal to 4. Okay, so this is the answer for this. And similarly the vector b is given, okay, rho z sin pi in arrow direction plus 3 rho z square cos pi in a pi direction. Okay, so this at, you have to evaluate this at 5 comma pi by 2 comma 1. Okay, so now if you do that 5 by 2 comma 1, so the answer it will be, so you can try to do it and check the answers. Okay, so I will give the answers, that is, so this del dot b, which is equal to 2z sin pi, okay, minus 3z square sin pi. Okay, so now del dot b at the point 5 comma pi by 2 comma 1, which is equal to minus 1 we will get. Okay, so this is the answer. And similarly for c, okay, so the c is, the vector c is given by 2r cos theta cos phi. The vector c is 2r cos theta cos phi in ar direction plus r power 1 by 2 in a phi direction. You have to evaluate this at 1 comma pi by 6 comma pi by 3. So now you will get del dot c as, so 1 by r square, 6 cos theta cos phi. This is your answer, del dot c. Okay, so now del dot c at point 1 comma pi by 6 comma pi by 3, which is equal to 2.59. So this is the answer. You just evaluate all these things and check it. So you do it in your home, and these are all the answers which I have given. So check it after evaluation. Okay, is it fine? Understood? Any doubt? Okay, so now we'll do one more problem on the proof, that is how we can evaluate the surface integral, and which is equal to the volume integral of the divergence of vector. Okay, so now take the problem. Okay, so now if g of r, the vector, so which is given by 10 into e power minus 2z into rho arrow cap plus az cap. So this is the given vector. So now determine the flux of g, okay, out of entire surface flux of G out of entire surface of the cylinder, entire surface of the cylinder. Okay, now rho equal to 1 and the Z variation is 1, that is 0 to 1, the Z variation 0 to 1, and confirm the result by using divergence theorem. Okay, confirm the result by using divergence theorem. So now this is a figure which is given in cylindrical structure, that is y, z, x. Okay, we have cylinder, okay. So now the flux which is going from the curved surface, and here we can call it as psi s, that is the curved surface over all these complete the cylindrical surface, we can call it as the flux through this curved surface as psi s, and the bottom of the cylinder surface we can call it as psi b, and if it is the fluxes which is going through top, which we can call it as psi t, that is the flux which is coming out of this cylinder. Okay, so if it is coming from the top surface, which will call it as psi t, okay, and the curved surface which we can call it as psi s, and the bottom surface which we can call it as psi b. So now we know from our earlier discussion, psi is nothing but the surface integral of A dot ds. Now instead of vector A, now which is given as G. Okay, so now we can write that one. So if I take the closed surface, that is closed surface of this cylinder, we can have the closed surface of G dot ds, so which will be nothing but, so the fluxes which is coming from top, bottom as well as the curved surface. If I add all these flux, we will get the closed surface integral of this G. Okay, so now we will evaluate one by one, that is psi top, the flux in the top surface, and flux in the bottom surface, and flux in the curved surface. Okay, now for top surface, okay, for flux which is coming from top surface, what is the Z value? So here you can see Z is varying from here, that is 0 to 1 till the top surface. So this is 1, Z equal to 1, so this is Z equal to 1, and here the point is Z equal to 0. Okay, so now for the psi t, what is the Z value? Z value, this surface is located at Z equal to 1, right? So now Z value equal to 1. And similarly, what this surface, so this ds, the differential surface for the top flux which is coming out of this surface, the ds, the differential surface, we can define. What is the differential surface for this one? So can anybody tell? So it is in which direction? It is direction of az, is it not? So if it is having az direction, what is the differential surface? It is rho d rho and d phi. The variation in the rho direction, variation in the phi direction, is it not? So now we can evaluate what is the psi at top surface, which is the double integral of G dot ds. Okay, so which is nothing but, so there is a rho variation here, so the rho is nothing but the radius of this cylinder, so which is nothing but the rho which is varying from 0 to 1. Okay, so the maximum value of rho is 1 at this point. So the rho is varying from 0 to 1. Okay, so this will be evaluated rho into d rho, so along with G. Okay, so now, okay, so this G also we have to write. So this one we will write one more time, that is double integral of g we need to write. So what is g? 10 into e power minus 2z. Okay, so in the row direction what is the given here? So you can see here the g of r in the row direction, it is 10 into e power minus 2z into row. Okay, so that we need to write it. So this into row, so this is in the row direction. Okay, so in the row direction what is ds? ds is row into d row, row into d row. So this is the row variation which is varying from 0 to 1. So this is row variation. Okay, so similarly, so the phi variation, so what is the phi variation? Phi is exactly the curved surface one circle, that is it is varying from 0 to 2 pi. It is varying from 0 to 2 pi. So now these two integrals if we evaluate, we will get the psi t. Okay, so now what is psi t? Which is equal to 10 into e power minus 2z. So this is constant. Okay, so rho into rho, rho square. Okay, so this will become rho square. Now if we integrate this rho square, what you will get? So it is rho cube by 2. So sorry, rho cube by 3. Okay, so this one rho cube by 3. So varying from 0 to 1. Okay, so here okay, sorry, here so it is in the z direction. So here you can see here the g, so this surface which is in which unit direction? It is in the az direction. Okay, so the az direction, the component of gr is 1, so you have to take 1. So here not rho, it is 1. Okay, so this is 1 into rho, so which is rho square by 2. If I integrate this one rho with respect to d rho, it is rho square by 2. And phi, if you integrate, so it is phi 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so now, so you can see here for the top surface, what is the z value? Z value equal to 1. If you substitute that one, e power minus 2 into z value 1. So if I substitute the limits, so rho square 1 square minus 0 square divided by 2, this into 2 pi, that is, so this value. So what is the final value? It is 10 into e power minus 2 into 2 pi, so divided by 2, which is equal to, so 10 pi into e power minus 2. So this is the value for the top surface, the flux in the top surface. Now similarly we can evaluate in the bottom surface. Okay, so for the bottom surface z is 0, is it not? Okay, so similarly for the bottom surface z equal to 0. Okay, similarly the ds is nothing but rho, d rho and d phi. Okay, so in the minus az direction, because we are evaluating in the bottom direction, that is direction negative to az direction, in the negative z direction, so that's why it is minus az. So now we can write psi b, which is nothing but the integral of the surface integral of g dot ds. Okay, so now which we can write this one as, so the rho is varying from 0 to 1, phi is varying from 0 to 2 pi, and g is nothing but e power minus 2z. Okay, so rho d rho d phi. So now we can, so this one it is in the negative direction, because az is in negative direction, so this will become negative.
Sir, the screen is not visible, sir. That page, sir, page.
Yeah, tell me.
So that page, take it down, sir.
Hello. Subramanya, are you
Sir,
telling
the
something?
sheet of paper, take it down, sir.
Okay, sorry.
That sheet is.
So for psi b,
Yes.
so we have z equal to 0, no? So here. So this is bottom surface. So we are going in the negative z direction. So that's why it is minus az. Is it not? So now for the bottom surface z equal to 0. Okay. So now if we take that one, so for bottom surface z equal to 0, the surface ds, the differential surface is nothing but similar, but the direction is it in the negative direction. So that's why it is minus of the rho variation is 0 to 1, 0 to 2 5, and this is the g, that is 10 e power minus 2z, and this rho d rho and d phi. So now we can evaluate. So minus 0 to 1 rho into t rho, okay, and 0 to 2 pi d pi. So this is whole things multiplied by, so whatever the constant term, which is 10 into e power minus 2z. So now z is 0. So now z is 0 means we can put z equal to 0, this e power 0 will become 1. Okay. So minus 10 into, so this will become again rho square by 2 and 0 to 1, and this will be 5 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So now if I substitute the value, it is 1 square minus 0 square divided by 2 into 2 pi. Okay. So this will get cancel each other. So you will get minus 10 pi. This is the flux from bottom surface. So now similarly for the curved surface, that is psi s. Okay. So for psi s, so what is your rho? Because the curved surface is this cylinder, so the radius is always equal to rho equal to maximum value 1. Is it not? This curved surface, if I take from center, the radius is same around this curved surface. Okay. So if I take one round like this, okay, so wherever you go, the value of rho will be equal to 1. Okay. Now what is the differential surface in the direction of arrow? What is the direction of the differential surface in the direction of rho? It is rho d phi into dz. Is it not? There is a phi variation and there is a z variation. Is it not? Here there is a phi variation angle and there is a z variation. Okay. Now this is a differential surface. So now we can evaluate what is psi s. So integral of g dot ds. So now what is g with respect to arrow direction? So here you can see the given g in arrow direction is rho. Okay. So the component is rho. So now you can substitute that one. So the integral of, so the variation is phi and z. So that is 0 to 2 pi and 0 to 1. The z variation is 0 to 1, phi variation is 0 to 2 pi. G is nothing but 10 into e power minus 2z into rho. So this is what the g, and ds is rho d pi dz. Okay. So now you can evaluate this one. So 0 to 2 pi. So the phi component is d phi. Okay. So now we can take out the constant terms here. So the constant term is 10 rho square. Okay. 10 rho square is the constant term, and with respect to phi it is d phi 0 to 2 pi, and variation of z is 0 to 1. So the z component is e power minus 2z into dz. Okay. Is it clear in this one? In this one, any doubt? So now we can put it the value of rho, which is equal to 1. So 10 into 1 into, so if you integrate d phi, it will give phi, which is 0 to 2 pi, and if you integrate this one, e power minus 2z divided by minus 2, so which is variation from 0 to 1. Okay. So now this will give 10 into 2 pi into, so if I substitute the z equal to 1 value, this will become e power minus 2, and the e power z, if I put z equal to 0, e power 0, which is equal to minus 1 divided by minus 2. So these two will get cancel each other. So what I will get? So if I multiply this minus inside of this one, so you will get 10 pi into 1 minus e power minus 2. So this is your the flux through the curved surface. Okay. So now if I add all these things, the total flux which is from top and bottom plus curved surface. So now what is the flux through top surface? It is 10 pi into e power minus 2. So minus 10 pi which is from bottom surface and plus 10 pi into 1 minus e power minus 2 which is in the curved surface. Okay. So now if you can observe here, so if I take the 10 pi common here, okay, so the total side, so if I take 10 pi common here in these two terms, 10 pi into, so you can observe e power minus 2 minus 1. So it is, if I take common here, it will be remain term is 1, here it is e power minus 2 and plus 10 pi into 1 minus e power minus 2. You can observe, so if I take minus outside from any one of the term, so it will become 10 pi into 1 minus e power minus 2 plus 10 pi into 1 minus e power minus 2. So this will be cancel each other and it will give 0. Now the total side from this cylinder which is equal to 0. Okay. Is it understood? Hello? Any doubt in this? So now we will evaluate the volume integral of the divergence of G. Okay. So now if you want to prove that divergence theorem, so we have to evaluate the volume integral of divergence of G. Okay. So now del dot G, you just find it out in the cylindrical coordinate system. We know that in the cylindrical coordinate system, del dot G, which is nothing but 1 by rho into del by del rho of rho into G rho, okay, plus 1 by rho into del by del phi of G pi, okay, plus del by del z of Gz. Okay. So now you can see what is the given problem, that is G. So what is G? It is given 10 into e power minus z into a rho plus az. So now the G rho component is 10 e power minus 2z into rho. Okay. So that you substitute 1 by rho into del by del rho of rho into what is G rho component, which is 10 e power minus 2z, again it is so rho. Okay. And similarly here 1 by rho into phi component is 0, that is del by del phi of 0. And similarly the z component del by del z of, so Gz is nothing but 1. Okay. So now if you evaluate this del dot G, which is given by, okay, so now 1 by rho into, so 10 e power minus 2z, which is constant, we can take out, rho square, rho into rho square, if you differentiate that with respect to rho, it will become 2 rho, okay, plus 0, plus what is the del by del z of constant 1, which is equal to 0 also. Okay. So now this rho will get cancel each other, so we will get 10 into e power minus 2z into 2, which is nothing but 20 e power minus 2z. Okay. So now this is what the del dot G. Now we have to evaluate this over the volume integral. Okay. So somewhere here we finished. Okay, any component we use G. Okay, what is G? By rho into del by del phi of, okay, rho phi component is 0 and z component is 1. Okay, that is correct only. Sorry, so here you have to multiply z component. So here we have done a mistake, which is 10 into e power minus 2z into 1. So this is mistake. Okay. So since here you have to multiply this component into 1, so that we have missed it. So this will not be 0, and if you differentiate this one, you will get 10 into minus 2z into e power minus 2z. Okay. So this will be, so the first component is 10 into e power minus 2z into 2. So here again plus into minus minus 20z into e power minus 2z. Okay. So here again it is 20 into e power minus 2z. Sorry, minus 2 into e power minus 2z. This is differentiation, which is again if you multiply it is minus 20. So this will give minus 20 into e power minus 2z. So if you get this one, so this del dot g will be equal to 0. Okay. So now we have, so if we evaluate the psi, that is volume integral, so the volume integral of this del dot g, okay, the volume integral of del dot g into dv, so which is 0. So since del dot g itself it is 0, so the integration of this one is also 0. So therefore, so we can say that the divergence theorem, that is A dot ds, so which is nothing but del dot A into d over the volume. So instead of A we have to write g. In this problem, if I integrate closed surface integral, that is g dot ds, so which is nothing but the volume integral of del dot g into d. So this is what the divergence theorem. Even if you calculate the divergence of the vector, and if you take the volume integral of that, so that will be equivalent to the closed surface integral of the vector A over the differential surface. So that we have proved. We have taken the surface integral or flux, so which is 0, and here if we take the divergence of this volume integral, both will become 0. That will be prove the divergence theorem. So is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? So they will ask for the proving of this divergence theorem. So it will be very, you need to be very careful while doing this one. Is it understood? Any doubt? Deepika?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Ayush? Ayush Kumar?
Yes, understood.
Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here. So then we'll continue the another important operation. We operate on a vector, that is cross, that is del, we have seen del dot